correct?
As far as I recall, no.
What did you do with the gun case when you got it? Did you open it up?
Yes.
And what'd you do?
I opened it up in my office. I believe I put it in my bag.
Your office at the home?
Yes.
And who was with you?
I don't recall.
What bag did you put it in?
I think no one was with me. When they gave me the case, I went in my office and I put it in my bag.
They being whom?
Whoever brought it in there.
Okay. What bag?
My black bag that it was eventually found in.
Can you describe that bag?
Yes, black bag with zippers, and you guys have it. Or the police department have it. I thought they turned it over to you guys.
Okay, so was the gun loaded in the case?
Yes.
You took the gun, closed the case, and then you put the case into the black bag.
I believe so.
And was there anything else in the black bag at that time?
Yes.
What was in it?
Everything I had taken to Chicago.
What did that include? Well, let me, withdrawn. Tell me, as best as you can recall now, what was in that bag on the 13th in your office when you put the gun in it?
My overnight kit. A book.
What book?
I believe it was Inca Gold. Inca Gold, I believe it was. Some travel stuff.
What do you mean by that?
You know, travel folder, you know, that type of stuff.
You mean tickets and stuff?
Yeah, tickets, travel, you know, schedule.
What else?
What you guys now refer to as a disguise.
When you say you guys, what do you mean by that?
Well, I've seen some people in this room refer to it on the news and the press and the prosecution.
Okay. So what do you refer to it as?
There's a beard and a goatee.
Okay, so you had a beard and a goatee in that bag.
Yeah, I never really opened the package to see what, but it was like a Van Dyke thing, I believe. I never really looked at it, so I don't know.
It was in a sealed package?
Yes.
Had never been opened?
I had never opened it, no.
As of the evening of the 13th, when it was in your bag, it had not been opened, correct?
I had never opened it, no.
Was it opened? Or you can't tell if it had been opened?
I don't know what Van Adder did, because he took my bag, and from what I told.
That was later.
I don't know, no. I'm only based on his testimony.
I'm a little confused. Van Adder didn't have your bag as of the evening of the 13th, did he?
Well, he perjured himself on the stand and testified that I told him he can look in my bag, which I didn't, but I would have if he would have asked. And he testified that he did look in my bag that Monday.
When you were interviewed?
Yes.
At the police station?
When I left the police station, he kept my bag was in the trunk of his car, and we were asking about picking it up, and he didn't want to go into the downstairs to get it, and asked if it would be all right if he took it to gave it to me when he got back to my house. And so I was there with 3 lawyers, and we said, sure.
Well, I'll get back to that, but let me see if I understand the contents of the bag on the evening of the 13th. You mentioned the book, the overnight kit, the travel materials, and the beard and goatee.
Yeah, and who knows what else. I mean,
can you remember anything else?
Change, credit cards, passports, whatever. What I keep in the bag all the time. It's all in there that Monday.
Your passport was in the bag?
Yes.
You said passports. You have more than one?
No. Sometimes I have my kids.
Your passport was in this black bag you're describing?
Yes.
And when did you put the passport in that black bag?
It's always in the black bag.
Always?
Always.
And when did you put the beard and goatee in the bag?
Whenever I got it.
And when did you get it?
I don't know. A few weeks before then.
Where did you get it?
Someone ordered it for me, and then it came to my office, and then I got it.
Who ordered it for you?
I asked a guy to get it for me, and I think he arranged it through Kathy.
Who did you ask?
Whoever the makeup guy was on the, actually I asked a girl who had a bunch of them on the shoot that I was doing for Playboy. She had a bunch of mustaches and beards, and while they were doing my makeup, I said, you know, I could use one of them, and I explained why. And she said she'd get one, and while I was working, she evidently had left, and then I had mentioned it to the other makeup person, and he said he can get it, and he and Kathy spoke, and he got it.
That day?
I don't know.
This was the exercise video?
Yes.
And this was done at your residence, correct?
Mostly no. Mostly at a studio.
And when you had the conversation with the makeup artist, was it at the studio?
Yes.
And what was that person's name?
I don't know.
When you had a conversation with the second makeup artist, what was that person's name?
I don't know.
When did you receive the beard and goatee?
I believe a few days after that.
At your home in Rockingham?
No, at my office, I believe it was.
In Brentwood?
Yes.
And who gave it to you?
I think it was just sitting on my desk. When I go to my desk in Brentwood, things are there, and Kathy laid things out for me, I believe, and then I took it from the office one day.
Did you pay for it?
I'm sure Kathy paid for it, yes.
Do you know how much it cost?
No.
Did you ever see a receipt for it?
No.
Okay. What was the reason that you explained to the makeup artist why you wanted a beard and goatee?
Because I was going to Knott's Berry Farm. My kids had asked me to go to take them to Knott's Berry Farm, and I get harassed. I can't say harassed, but people are after me all the time when I'm in those places. So consequently, I thought when I saw it there, it seemed like a good idea.
Have you ever used a disguise before in public places?
Sorta.
What do you mean by that?
I've used where I've had fake casts, so I wouldn't have to sign autographs, you know, sunglasses and hats and stuff in the past.
You ever used a fake beard and goatee?
I've used it before, but not really for public, not really out in the public.
Not to disguise yourself for members of the
No,
public?
just if I'm doing a shoot sometime and they have them, I'll come home and I'll wear it home and tease my kids.
Had you ever taken your kids to Knott's Berry Farm before?
Yes.
Before June 1994?
Yes.
And to Disneyland?
Yes.
And other public places?
Yes.
And did you ever wear a disguise to conceal your identity on
Yeah,
those
as I told you,
occasions?
sunglasses, fake casts on my hands, hats, yes.
Well, the fake cast on your hand wouldn't conceal your identity as O.J. Simpson, correct?
Well, it keeps me from signing autographs. It's all for the same purpose.
What I'm trying to find out is whether you had ever worn a disguise with your children in public places for the purpose of preventing people from recognizing you.
Well, yeah, as I said, when I wear sunglasses and hats that I would normally wear, I've done that many times.
And was that successful?
For the most part, yeah.
Besides hats and sunglasses, had you ever worn any other disguises in public for the purpose of concealing your identity?
Halloween, other than that, no.
Other than Halloween?
No.
Okay. Now, how did the beard and goatee get into your black bag from its location on your desk in Brentwood?
I put it in there.
That day?
Would imagine so, yeah.
Now, from the time you...
Not the day that whenever day it was in my, whenever day I got it, I put it in my
That's
black
what I
bag.
meant.
Yes.
Now, from that day on, had you ever used it?
I don't believe it's ever been used.
So you never used it, right?
No.
And you never even opened it yourself, right?
No.
You looked at it, put it in the bag, and left it there, right?
Yeah.
When did you know, you said your passport was always in your bag, right?
Mm-hmm. My travel bag, yes.
This is the black leather bag we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me show you some photographs from the trial. These are trial exhibits. What they are, I correct myself, they are photographs of trial exhibits. Okay?
Wait, I'm sorry, quick.
Yes, I don't have duplicates of these, so everybody's free to look at them.
Okay, question?
The question, Mr. Simpson, is whether this black bag that we've been talking about, this black leather bag where you had the beard and goatee and the passport and credit cards and other items, is identified in these
Yeah,
exhibits.
this appears to be the bag, yes.
Could you point to it?
It looks like that could be the bag.
So for the record, you're pointing to what was marked in the trial as Exhibit 1064. Is that right?
And what?
Are there other exhibit numbers there, Mr. Baker?
No, it's just 1064.
Okay.
Two different bags, though.
Oh, there are two different bags
Well, there's
in
this
1064?
carry-out bag
Yeah.
in
Let's-
1064 as well. It's fold-over bag, garment bag, I think it's commonly called.
How
That
many
has his
different
initials
bags are
on it.
depicted in Exhibit 1064?
It appears to be two.
Two. And the one in the bottom, the two on the right page in the bottom are a different bag, right?
Yes.
That what
Then
bag
we're
is that?
talking about. Yeah, that's a kind of a suit carry bag.
Okay, and the other photographs, 1, 2, 3, 4, are the black garment bag?
Yeah, sort of. No.
The black leather bag?
Yeah, black grip. Grip.
What do
use
you
it as
call
a
this
briefcase.
bag?
A grip, a briefcase. I use it as basically a briefcase, but I don't carry a briefcase anymore, and it's a grip. It's a grip.
Okay, and this is Exhibit 1064, the grip or the
Two-thirds of it.
briefcase. Two-thirds of it is the black bag that you had with you on the evening of June 13th, right?
Yes.
When you went to the police station, did you bring that black bag with you?
Yes.
And that black bag went to Chicago with you?
Yes.
Okay. And the first time that black bag left your possession when you came back from Chicago is when?
When I believe it was Leonard put it in the trunk of his car
Where?
at Rockingham.
Before you went to the police station?
Yes.
Okay, then when you got to the police station, did you have it there?
No, it stayed in his car.
Okay, and some point later in the day, Van Adder returned it to you?
Yes.
Okay, and that was when you got back from the office, right?
Yes.
And did you look in the bag when he returned it to you?
Yes.
Did you notice anything missing?
No.
Okay. Did you notice anything added to it? Anything new?
Yeah, I don't look that closely, but I would say no.
Okay. Why did you put the gun in the bag?
Because someone had, well, at the time, it's because I just brought it in the house, and my house was loaded with people, and I was in my office, and I just stuck it in the bag
Okay.
at that time. Yes.
Were you the registered owner of that gun?
I thought I was, yes.
Were you?
It turns out since I've only read that it was registered to someone else.
Who?
I don't know.
How did you cause to get a gun registered in the name of another person?
Well, wait a minute, that's argumentative. Don't answer that question. That assumes that he caused that to happen.
Did you purchase that gun?
No.
How did you come to possess the gun?
It was given to me as a gift.
Who gave it to you as a gift?
I believe it was Mike Ornstein.
Mike?
Ornstein.
When did he give it to you?
One Christmas, I believe.
Years before?
Possibly.
And when you received the gun, did you do anything to try to get it registered in your name?
I was told it was registered. It was already taken care of.
By whom?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Okay, so as of June of
You
1990...
mean who took care of the registration or who told him that it was registered?
Who took care of the registration? Do you know who did?
I assumed Mike Ornstein had.
You don't know, though?
No.
And who told you that it was taken care of?
Mike Ornstein.
Had you ever used that gun?
No.
Did you keep it loaded
Yes.
at all times?
From the time he gave it to me, no.
When did you load it for the last time?
Roughly a month previous to the deaths.
And why?
Because I had an incident on the freeway, and then I started keeping a gun in my car.
Before the incident on the freeway, you did not have the gun in your car?
Correct.
Where was it?
Probably in my closet.
This is an incident around the 7th of May en route to Dana Point,
That's correct.
or Monarch Bay, I should say?
That's correct.
Okay. Did you own any other guns in June of '94?
Yes.
How many?
I don't know.
Lots?
I would think so.
Where were they?
Mostly in my closet.
More than 5?
I don't think so.
Were any of them loaded in June of '94 besides this one gun?
I don't believe so. One might have been, but it had a lock on it.
Can you identify the guns that you owned in June of '94?
No, I can't.
Do you know the names of them?
One I know was I think it was an M16, and I think that was a 357, and I think there was another 357.
3 guns?
I may have had some more, but I don't know.
Did you, in beginning around, I think you said a month before the deaths, you put the 357 in the underneath the seat of the Bentley, is that right?
Yes.
And did you put any gun in the Bronco?
No.
You typically drove the Bronco, right?
I drove both cars.
You drove the Bronco more.
You know, depends. It just depends. At night, I would drive the Bentley, and if it just depends. I really can't tell you which one I drove more.
You can't?
No,
The Bronco was your favorite car, wasn't it?
not necessarily. No.
You drove them both around the same, correct? Is that what you're now saying?
Is that what he's now saying, as contrasted to what he said before? That's argumentative. Instruct him not to answer it.
Is that your testimony, that you drove both the Bentley and the Bronco roughly the same?
Yeah, I would think actually, yeah, roughly the same
Okay.
amount of time. Yeah.
Did you, in June of 1994, let's make it more specific, as of June 12 of 1994, in addition to any guns that you've mentioned, did you own any other weapons?
No.
Did you own any knives other than kitchen knives?
Yes.
How many?
I have no idea.
Where'd you get those knives?
I worked for a company that made knives.
What's the name of that company?
Forstner.
I'm sorry?
Forstner.
Forschner. You're on the board of directors?
Yes.
You were.
Yes.
Are you still?
No.
And what kind of knives does Forschner make?
I was involved with the Swiss Army knife, basically.
What do you mean you were involved with it?
Well, that's what I spent most of my time trying to promote. and
What
work
is a
with.
Swiss Army knife?
A utility knife, I believe.
How big is it?
It depends.
There are different sizes?
Yes.
What do they range from?
A pocket knife to a multi-purpose larger knife.
How long?
I don't know.
What's the longest Swiss Army knife that you've seen?
You talking about hilt end blade or
Excuse me?
the whole thing? Hilt end blade or blade? What are you talking about?
Blade.
I'm guessing now. I'd say the big knife is about 2.5, 3 inches
Have
maybe.
you ever seen one where the blade was 6 inches?
No.
Okay. Are the only knives that you owned outside of kitchen knives these Swiss Army knives made by Forschner?
I may have had a few other knives, I'm not sure.
You may have.
Yes.
Do you remember having any?
I remember one, but I remember having others too.
Well, how many did you have outside of the Swiss Army knives as of June 12th?
I have no idea.
More than 10?
I doubt that.
More than 5?
I don't know.
Could it be more than 5?
Don't guess.
I don't
or
know.
speculate.
I don't know.
Where were these knives?
I have no idea.
What was their purpose in your having? What was your purpose in having them?
We went camping a lot, and from time to time you buy a knife. So I hadn't seen them, and then I bought a knife a few weeks before, a month or so before.
Who went camping a lot?
Nicole and I and the kids over the years, my other kids, Nicole and I.
And you use these knives for camping, the ones you're now referring to?
Nicole would buy them, and I guess.
Let me be clear on this, Mr. Simpson. I'm asking what knives were in your house on the evening as of June 12, 1994, outside of knives used for eating.
I have absolutely no idea.
You've described some Swiss Army knives, correct?
Yes.
Where were those kept?
Wherever, downstairs in drawers. I give them out as gifts, so they're all over the place.
Were they in boxes?
Most of them, yes.
Each individual Swiss Army knife is in a box, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they were downstairs in various places?
Yes.
Any in your bedroom?
I'm sure.
You get them for free?
Yes.
Okay. Did the Forschner company ever give you any training on the use of these knives?
No.
Okay. Now, in addition to the Swiss Army knives, you said that you owned some other knives, a number of which you cannot recall, right?
I assumed I did. Over the years, I know with my older kids, my younger kids, we've camped over the years, and you buy things, and yes.
Now, where did you keep the knives used for camping?
Normally outside with all whatever camping stuff we had, but I was never in charge of any of that, so I don't know.
In the garage?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you have any other knives in the residence outside of the garage?
I have one in particular that I do know of.
Describe that knife.
It was sort of a jackknife, but it didn't have a spring.
What do you mean by jackknife?
You know, when you used to push it and the knife jumps out.
So when you pushed it, you have to pull it out, you mean? Didn't spring
Yeah.
out?
Well, I think you can even shake it out.
I see. Now, how long is that knife?
I don't
The
know.
blade.
I don't know.
Where was that knife on the evening of June 12th?
In my, as far as I know, in my home,
Where in your home?
in my bedroom.
Was that a stiletto?
I don't know I don't know.
Where in your bedroom?
On a shelf.
What shelf?
Shelf in my vanity.
Can you describe exactly where in the vanity?
Well, my vanity is one of these vanities or the mirrors. You can look 3 ways. And it was on a shelf there.
And who put it there?
I did,
When did you put it there?
whenever I bought it.
From the time you bought it, when you put it there, did you ever use it?
No.
Did you ever see it?
Not consciously, no.
Was it visible if you were standing in front of the vanity?
No.
Where'd you buy that knife?
Someplace downtown.
Was that Ross Cutlery?
Could very well be, yes.
Was that during the shooting of Frogman?
Yes.
Why did you buy it?
Because I liked it.
You went in and browsed around?
Actually, we were there about a half a day, and my seat where they put us was virtually in the store. And various people took me in the store to tell me things that they wanted because they handled Swiss Army watches and knives. And during the course of hanging around all day, I bought it.
What about the knife did you like?
The way it looked.
Was that the first time you bought a knife for aesthetic purposes?
I think most things that I buy are for aesthetic
Was
purposes.
that the first time you bought a knife for aesthetic purposes?
I can't say that. I know in my life I bought knives before, and I'm sure it was because aesthetically I liked it, because I'm not really a woodsman.
So you have bought knives before just for souvenirs or to collect them, right?
Well, as a kid, you know, you buy knives or you...
And as
I
an
can't-
adult?
I'm sure I have as an adult.
And whatever knives you collected over the years were, if you still have them, they were in your residence, is that right?
If I still have them, I don't know where they are because I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen them since your release from jail?
I haven't seen them in years.
Okay. When was the last time you remember purchasing a knife before the May of 1994 when you purchased this knife from Ross Cutlery?
Probably the summer of 92, summer of 91 or 92, I would think.
What knife did you purchase
I
then?
don't know, it was like a gym, I don't know if it was a boy, it was a hunting knife sort of thing.
What did you do with it?
I don't know.
Did you ever use it?
No.
Where did you keep it?
With all my camping stuff.
Where is that?
I don't know.
You don't know where your camping stuff is?
No.
In the garage?
I don't know. Nicole was the camper in the family, so, and I think she may have taken it to camp. You know, she does more camping than I do, so.
You ever use the knife you bought from Ross Cutlery?
No.
And where is that knife now?
I believe in the custody of you guys.
The police took it?
No.
Who took it?
A judge.
Delbert Wong?
I have no idea.
Was taken from where?
I wasn't with him. I was in jail.
How do you know he took it?
I was told he did.
Who told you that?
Right, you don't have to get into that. That's...
Is that the... I'm
that's
sorry.
protected by the attorney-client privilege.
Is that the knife in the sealed envelope?
I don't know. I haven't seen the sealed envelope.
Okay. So it's your testimony that from the moment you bought that knife, you took it home that day, put it in that vanity, and never touched it again. Is that right?
That's correct.
Did the week before you were back in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
You
The week
attended,
before June 12th, is that what we're talking about?
yes, Mr. Baker. You attended a board meeting at Forstner, right?
Yes.
And you were driven from Connecticut to Long Island, correct?
Correct.
By a limo driver, right?
Correct.
And you brought back with you from the board meeting a box of knives, right?
No, it's not correct.
Did you bring back with you any knives?
I believe so, yes.
What did you bring back?
I think I may have brought 3, 2. I bought a bunch of little knives that were like team knives because I dispensed them to, well, one friend, and I bought maybe 2. I can't think of the name of this knife. It's a kind of it's our top of the line thing with everything involved. And I brought back a lot of boxes of watches. A lot of boxes of watches.
How many boxes?
I would say 13, 14, 15.
And were the knives in the boxes all in one big box?
A bag, yes.
A bag?
Yes.
Okay. And did you pay for any of these items?
No.
They were given to you as promotional items for you to distribute?
Yes.
Did now I want to go back to the knives. You said that there were some team knives, T-E-A-M?
Yes.
What are they?
Some of the people I was visiting when I left there are Giant fans, and they would have like the name the Giants on them. And I'd give them a knife.
I see.
And they're for keychains.
Did these knives have the team names imprinted on them?
Yes.
And you had one for a number of different teams?
No, because I only had 2 or 3 of them. So
These were
the
football
Giants I
teams?
know. Giants I know because the person I was going to was a Giant fan, and I gave him one.
Who was that?
Bobby Bender.
In New York, right?
Yes.
He's a good friend of yours, right?
Yes.
And you saw him when you came back from the board meeting, right?
Yes, and I gave some watches out there also.
And besides these 2 or 3 team knives, did you have any other knives?
I
with
may
you?
have taken, I'm not sure, but I may have taken one, I'm so sorry, I can't think of the name of our top of the line knife.
A utility knife?
Yeah, I can't think of the name. There's a name for it, and I apologize. I can't think of the name of it. I may have taken one of them, but basically, I'm interested in the watches, and the watches are what I give out. I had enough of the knives
Now you-
previous.
You have to keep your voice up. I'm sorry. You're
Basically, it was watches. It
trailing
was
off.
watches that I think they took a list. I'm pretty sure they took a list of an inventory of what I took.
You came out with 2 large white shopping bags from the Forstner warehouse, right?
First, they wouldn't have been shopping bags, but I know there was at least one large bag.
And you brought the bag or bags into
Yeah.
the back seat with you, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you remember the name of the driver?
No,
Is the name John Upson ring a bell?
no.
Okay. Now, did you offer to give a knife or a watch to the driver?
I believe I did.
You believe you offered?
I believe I gave him.
And what did you give him?
I don't recall. Probably that big, whatever you call it, utility knife thing. Probably, but I could have given him a watch, but I doubt that.
Did you show the knives to Mr. Upson, the driver?
No.
Now, did you have with you one knife that was 12 to 16 inches long?
No.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Did you take that knife out and show it to him and make a stabbing motion?
Wait, don't answer that question.
Why not?
Because there's no foundation for it. He just said he didn't have that knife. Now you've said, did you take that knife, assuming the one that's 12 to 16 inches long, show it to him and make a stabbing motion?
Well, it might
We're not
refresh
gonna-
his recollection.
Yeah, right. No way he's going to answer that.
Do you recall whether or not you took a knife 12 to 16 inches long and made a stabbing motion with it to the limo driver?
I know I didn't.
You remember you didn't?
Yes.
He said he
Okay.
knows he didn't. How can you remember an
Yeah.
act that you did not do?
What was the longest blade of the knives that you had with you and showed to the limo driver?
If I took one of our utility things, I would say whatever that blade is, 2 inch maybe, 2.5, maybe 1.5 inches. I really don't know.
Okay.
But you can get one and look at it.
When showing the limo driver the knives, did you say, you can even kill somebody with this?
I never showed the limo driver the knives. I believe I may have given him one, but I didn't show him anything that I had in the bag.
You did not even show him the knives you remember having?
I did not. I think I just gave him a gift.
Okay. Did you say you can even kill somebody with this,
No.
alluding to knives?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. Did you make four or five phone calls during that trip?
I believe so.
Okay. To your friends?
Yes.
Did you say you'd be a little late for golf?
Yes.
Okay. You made some phone calls to your office?
Possibly.
You looked at some papers?
Possibly.
Fell asleep for about a half an hour?
Probably.
You decided to change into golf clothes?
I'm pretty sure I did.
In the car?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I would have tried if I had my clothes in the car, yes.
With respect to any of these hunting knives or camping knives that you purchased over the years, did any of them have a blade 6 inches or longer?
I really don't know.
You have no recollection at all?
No, I don't.
Do you ever remember having in your house a hunting knife with a blade 6 inches or longer?
No.
You ever remember using such a knife?
No, I know fishing with the kids, hunting, that we seem to have always had a knife of some sort, but I don't recall when.
When you
what.
have gone fishing
You
or
gotta
hunting?
wait till he finishes.
I
please.
apologize,
Go
Mr.
ahead,
Baker.
OJ. Were you finished?
Yes.
When you have gone hunting or fishing, do you recall using a knife with a blade 6 inches or longer?
No, I don't recall.
You don't remember one way or the other?
One way or the other.
Okay. Can you account for all of the hunting and camping knives that you purchased
No,
over the years?
of course not.
You can't account for them,
Wait,
right?
don't answer that.
I've been hunting
Don't.
for 10 years.
What kind of game do you hunt?
The one time I went hunting for birds once, and that was, I would say, the early 70s. And I went hunting in the 60s for deer.
Did you go hunting in the 80s
No,
and in the 90s?
no.
Did you go fishing in the 90s?
I believe so.
And did you use a knife?
I believe so.
Did it have a blade 6 inches or longer?
I don't know.
Where is the knife you used?
I have no idea. Or the fishing poles or any of it.
I'm sorry to hear the end.
Or the
So
fishing,
all the fishing poles or any
or
of it.
any of it? Okay. Let's go back to the black bag that we looked at, which was marked as the Exhibit 1064 in the criminal case. When you put the gun into the bag, what did you do with the bag that evening?
Probably put it in my bedroom.
Did you put anything else into it?
That night, no.
Yes. Now you left, you slept at your house that night, right?
Yes.
You went to the Kardashian house the next morning
Yes.
and you took the black bag with you?
Yes.
Okay. And did you take any other luggage with you?
I'm not sure. I think I took another bag, but I'm not really sure.
Okay. And when you went to the Kardashian house with the black bag, where did you keep it while you were there?
I put it in a closet.
In the bedroom in which you slept?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever go to that black bag during the time you were at the Kardashian house before you left the home on Friday morning?
And after he placed it there?
Yes.
I don't believe, because I took some pictures out of it then. I don't believe so.
Okay. And what pictures did you take out of it?
The pictures that I had carried over to Kardashian's house.
These are the three family pictures you mentioned
Yes.
before?
Yes.
And you took them from your home in Rockingham?
Yes.
And you put them in the black bag?
Yes.
And then where'd you take them from in Rockingham? What
Wherever they
location?
were. Wherever they
In your
were.
bedroom?
I don't know.
Put them in the black bag?
Yes.
Did you put anything else in the black bag?
I think I put some socks and some underwear in the black bag.
The same bag?
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, the gun was in there.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, we have to change tapes now. Have to take a moment.
This is the end of tape number 1 of volume 1. The time is approximately 11:52, and we are off the record.